Hey there, Cheesemeisters, and welcome back to the Peach Pod. That would have been Ain't That Peculiar by Marvin Gaye, because On the Nose. That was playing when Steve and Brandon went to the gay coffee shop. I am Jeff, and it is degrading to be treated like a sex object, but I don't mind. And joining me on the other end of the internet, my co-host.
I'm Leslie, and hey, I'm just talking about me.
That's right, I'm just talking about me here. Shouts to Deshaun Hardell. Uh,
Right. Oh,
yeah.
what a great guy.
Yep. And how much did you love the fact that this was clearly the result of double ups? Because he wore the same Uncle Sam outfit that he wore in Brenda's dream sequence, or flashback sequence last week. It's like, oh, I get it. I understand. We had Deshaun. We had Deshaun and the costume for one day.
I
So
want to know which came first, he being Uncle Sam or him doing this. And they said, "Oh wait, it's great. He goes
yeah,
through
I
time
know.
as Uncle Sam."
Yeah, he's our constant. Um,
Yes.
Yeah. Uh Deshaun is Uncle Sam. Yeah, I thought that was hilarious. I forgot he was in the Uncle Sam costume for this too. This week, Cheesemeisters, we are talking about season 4, episode 25, Blind Spot. Original air date April 6th of 1994. Did you retch or toss?
Oh boy, didn't I?
Yeah?
Oh yeah. I wanted to throw something every time someone made a joke about Andrea eating. How
Sure.
dare she? How dare she? A
I
pregnant woman? I'm sorry, a woman in general?
know. Everything she's doing is eating. It's crazy.
We'll get there. But that, and then also anytime Artie opened his fucking mouth to say something homophobic was
Yeah,
just
Artie's a douche nozzle.
it was bad. Like Steve was bad, and then you heard Artie be blatantly hateful, and it's like, okay,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out. Fuck the cake house forever. Burn this shit down. If John Sears doesn't come back and light this up by the end of the season, I will riot. 30 years late, but I don't care.
What do you think? John Sears is going to come back and save the day?
I would love it if he came back and said, no, I'm the worst keg member ever. You don't get to take that from me.
I like that. Um, yeah. Yeah, we're going to talk about the keg house. So here's what happens in this episode, Cheesemeisters. Um, Steve and Brandon are trying to go to a Dodgers game. It's opening weekend, early April. And Brandon's car breaks down because that's what Brandon's car does. And they were trying to, call AAA or whatever, but the payphone was broken, no dial tone. And it's pre-cell phone, you guys. This is the way the world worked. I'm sorry to tell you. Um, I'm sorry to tell you for most of this episode that this is the way the 90s worked. I apologize on behalf of the 90s, you guys. Um, but they go in a coffee shop and because there's a payphone sign outside, which is true. Thing that places used to have payphone signs on the
Had
outside.
no idea. Love
Uh-huh.
it.
Yep, that way you would know that there's a payphone inside. Um, what they didn't do on the outside of this coffee shop is make it a big pink rainbow uh, payphone sign. Because you guys,
Glitter ball when you walk in the door.
this is a gay payphone in a gay coffee shop with gay cappuccinos. Oh my god!
Flaming artwork.
Oh, Dad, why did you bring me to a gay steel mill? I don't know. Uh, it's going to be really hard for me this episode not to talk about Homer's phobia, which is one of the greatest Simpsons episodes ever, where Homer is worried that Bart is gay. Um,
Awesome.
it's so funny. Homer's fear is hilarious. Um, ugh. Anyway, um, they go in and Brandon goes to use the payphone. He's like, order us something. And Steve looks around and goes,
He
this
his
lesbian bar has no fire escapes. Enjoy your death trap, ladies.
his face is is under the definition of gay panic. I
Yes.
swear.
Uh huh. It is. It's the. I swear it's a different Homer episode, but Homer goes into. He's looking for a new bar because he got kicked out of Moe's for some reason. I don't remember, and he ends up in a lesbian bar, and it's this. It's that same shot of him noticing everyone in the room is a woman, and Homer's like, something is wrong with this place. There's only one fire exit. Enjoy your death trap, ladies. Like, so he plays it the other direction. But Steve looks around and is horrified that it's just dudes and also that they're probably gay dudes. Oh, and he's like, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here, Brandon. What if one of them thinks I'm a gay? And like, I can't even order a drink because what if I order the wrong drink? What if I order the fruity drink? And so, like, Brandon's like, calm the fuck down. Don't be a douche. And he's like, but you don't understand, Brandon. Gay. And
Hit on me.
they might think I'm attractive. And then he notices that he knows a gay. And it is someone in the keg house, even though it doesn't look like Mike Ryan the last time we saw Mike Ryan, because Mike Ryans are replaceable, it seems. New actor, same keg president. And you know, Mike notices Steve and he's like, oh, it's kind of nice to know that there's somebody who's it's not just me, you
Oh,
know?
Mike, you can't be
Yeah,
that naive.
for a minute you thought, um, man, Mike might have some comfort here. Except for he doesn't know that Steve is involved because he don't know who Steve is.
Yeah.
Um, but like you felt for Mike because you're like, oh, good. Like it we know that it's not going to go this way for Mike. But the idea that Mike saw one of his frat brothers and was like, wow, I feel accepted. Like for one brief, tiny, shining moment, that's a nice thing for Mike. Everything else that happens for Mike is some bullshit. But right that one moment where he thought he wasn't alone anymore, nice for Mike.
Yeah.
But he's like, we probably shouldn't um talk to Steve right now because he's clearly having a fight with his boyfriend.
Yep.
Because from seen from afar, it looks like Brandon's attempts to keep Steve from running out and going gay, 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 gay. It looks like they're having a bit of a lover spat.
Honey, baby,
Uh,
no, sit.
yeah, come on, sit. It's okay. Let's just talk it out. They didn't talk it out. They left, and so let's just run through the Steve of it all, I suppose. Um, so Brandon's like, what's the fucking big deal? And Steve's like, I tell you what the big deal is. Gay.
He lied to us.
Yeah, he's a big sneaky gay liar. And you know me, Marge. I like my beer cold, my TV loud, and my homosexuals flaming.
God.
Yeah, it's because he's a sneak. That's why I don't like him. Ugh, Steve is so worried that someone's going to think he's gay. The fragility of Steve is
Good.
on display. It's ridiculous. And so Mike goes and talks to Steve, and he's like, we cool?
Yeah,
And
cappuccinos.
right, yeah, he shows. Oh God, this fucking it's ridiculous scene.
Wrong phrase, Mike. These are
I
your
don't
fucking
know.
Dorothy's.
Right, yeah, there you go. So yeah, Steve shows up at Keg House, and Mike, who apparently loves coffee above all else besides cock, is over there. Yeah, right. Um, it's you flip that order and you know it. Um,
Depends.
it's true. Um, Mike's man in the cappuccino machine, and he's like, "Hey, Steve, want a cappuccino?" And Steve's like, "I'm good." And he's like, "What about a cappuccino?" And he's like, "No, I'm Mike. I'm okay." And he's like, "What about the gayest cappuccino?"
But I
And Steve's
saw
like,
you at a place with cappuccinos.
"Remember the gay?" And Steve's like, "Fuck. All right, I'm coming." And he goes over and he's like, "I've never had a gay cappuccino, gay Mike." Everything in this episode, like, it's just, I feel like Steve puts the word gay in front of everything that happens. It's just, it's so, oh, he's off-putting. And and he's like, "Not gay, Mike. That was just Brandon, also not gay." And Mike's like, "All right, sorry, Jesus. Well, can you not like tell everybody that I'm gay? Please don't out me." And Steve's like, "I don't know, maybe." And when then he talks to Brandon about it, and Brandon's like, "Dude, don't you fucking dare." And Steve's like, "I would never.
But if he
I,
comes on to me, man.
oh, I'm gonna punch him right in the mouth, his gay mouth." Ugh. And we're all relieved because of course Steve's never gonna do that. Like, he's, Steve cares about his brothers. Um, Especially this one, because Mike stood up for him in the blackball ceremony against John Sears. And Steve really appreciates it. And
Not
Steve
enough.
is, no, no, he does. It really, down in his heart, he appreciates it.
Oh my god.
Um, Unfortunately for Mike, there's also a boxer shorts calendar that's being shot. And it's for charity, for the Alpha House or whatever. And they're trying to get, honest to God, anyone with a penis to be in this thing. Like, every single male character who's ever been on this show. Like, they didn't go to Dan Rubin because they're not sure where he is.
Well, they didn't call Josh Richland.
Well, true. Or Jesse, I guess they could have called Jesse. Um, they know he's got one. It works.
What
You
about Months?
know,
Where was Months?
where was Muntz? That's a
Where
great question.
where the fuck was Months? Listen, I'm mad that the majority of the men they asked were from Keg House. I'm like, this is despicable.
Mm-hmm.
There are other men on this campus who I bet are actually attractive.
Mm-hmm. I mean, also, like, there's got to be some girls out there who like a chubby fella. I mean, come on. What
Like
do
I
you,
said when I complained about Chippendales, have something for the nerdy girls.
right? Yeah.
We're all beefcake. Well, they weren't all beefcakes. Everyone, everyone besides the leads, except Steve. Steve's a beefcake. We're like all beefcakes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Brandon and Dylan, not so beefcakey. David is like borderline beefcake. He's pretty tall.
Scrawny cake. I
He's
don't know.
filling out. David is filling out.
It's so disturbing to me how ripped he is. I'm like,
I know,
why
nerdy
are
little
you?
David Silver. Remember
Yeah,
when you wore a football helmet and drove Steve's car? You tiny little dweeb. Um,
I liked him too
yeah.
much.
Yeah. David's up to some shit in this episode. Uh, and so they go to the fitting for the calendar, and Steve was on the B list, which is awesome because they already had too many keg guys. And Kelly asks Brandon to do it, tries to pitch him the respectable angle. The most respected guys on campus we would like in their underpants. And Dylan is like, sex object, Kel. Ain't gonna do it. And nobody bothers to ask David because he's just fucking on one. Just being an asshole again for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And but Donna asked Deshaun because, you need more people in this calendar. They're like, we've asked everyone who's on the episode this week. And Deshaun's like, "Sure, if you go out with me." And Donna's like, "Deshaun, I have a boyfriend. Quit playing." And he's like, "I was just playing." But then she's like, "Ooh, wait a minute," and she has an idea because there's this other thing going on. David is taking piano lessons because he can't quite nail the Mozart sonata. And uh, David's teacher has the audacity to suggest that David try to learn something from a teacher.
Yep.
And David's like, "I have to bullshit. If I can't do it by myself, I'm a poser." I David doesn't understand learning things from teachers. It's really weird.
Also, David was never a prodigy. Who put
No,
that lie in his brain?
the Sanders Management Group and Serge Mencken.
Never a prodigy.
No. David's all worked up because he thinks that if he has to get a tutor, it means that he's not naturally gifted, or I don't. David, he's such an asshole. Um, but he's like, and Donna's like, why don't you get a like go to the tutor, learn something, asshole? Like,
Yeah.
you know, like it's fine. And he's like, yeah, but if they give me any shit, fuck them. David has the same reaction to the idea of a tutor that Steve has to gay people. Like,
Yeah. And I love it later when the teacher is I forget her name. I thought it was Holly, maybe, but
might have been
she
Holly. They barely say it.
they say it once, which
Yeah,
is upsetting to me. But when they're in a lesson and she meets Kelly and Donna, he goes, "She's teaching me arrogance." And I'm like, "She doesn't need to teach you.
everybody knows that she doesn't
You
need to teach you.
you got that.
Yeah, you ended gang violence by rapping. Like, you have the right to be arrogant.
You said you were a prodigy in high school.
Sure you
Fuck
were.
off."
Yeah, he was great. Um, and I don't know, how dare anyone try to broaden anyone's horizons in this, or they're gonna get it. Uh, and so he shows up, and it turns out, you guys, that this piano teacher, wait for it, she's blind.
What?
I know. And she's hiding it, just like Mike Ryan is hiding his gay. Just out there being sneaky blind, not wearing glasses and carrying a stick and doing shit like this.
How dare
I mean,
these people lie to us?
I
We
know.
deserve to know everything about everyone.
That's right. Tell me everything the first time I meet you, or else you're deceitful and fuck off. Um, so anyway, she's blind. And but it turns out that as blind chicks go, she's a pretty good piano player. Um, and I suppose as piano players go, she's a pretty good piano player. I don't know how to gauge like if she's a great piano player or a good piano player. Like, sounds good to me. Like, I don't know.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. And she shows David that he's doing something wrong, just by listening and feeling his fingers, which I actually think that's kind of a cool scene where
Agreed.
he's like playing it and he gets stuck and she's like, okay, and she puts her hands on top of his to feel the way he's playing. And she's like, oh, your fingering is wrong there. Do it like this. And I don't know enough about playing piano to know like exactly the change she pointed out to him, because I can't really tell. I don't really know what I'm looking at. Um, but like he's like, oh fuck, that is better. Like, turns out there's a value to having a teacher. Maybe there's a value to having a gay too. We'll have to find out.
I just think
And
it's really interesting because I think in a scenario where someone with sight is teaching, they're going to be focused on form. She's able to hear something and help him, I feel like, in a more helpful way
mm-hmm,
by like, okay, let's lessen the tension in your hands.
uh-huh.
That way you're able to play this more freely.
Yeah. And also I think you're probably supposed to like you're supposed to play this note with your thumb over here so you can more easily reach the next notes after.
Mm,
It's something like that. It's like, oh, you're trying to do this note with the wrong finger. Because
yeah,
if you use this finger, the next note you can't get to with this finger fast
got
enough.
it.
It feels like it's that kind of thing. Um, and so I don't know. David learned a thing, and then she's like, "Feel the music, don't get stuck in it," which is kind of nice. And then she's like, "You're," and then she's basically doing like a cough drop commercial, and she's like, "You're water skiing, and the water splashing up in your face, and there's a fish." And it gets eaten by a bird. I don't know what's happening. I'm waiting for it to go bad. Um, but whatever it is, it gets David all worked up inside. He's like, ooh, now I love the blind lady. Um,
Now I
yeah,
want to save her. I want to
I know.
help her and do everything for her. And she's like, "How about I teach you how to not be an asshole to
Yeah,
people with
let's
different abilities?"
try that. And yeah, so she comes over to his house to teach him piano, which house calls. Um, and Kelly and Donna walk in, and he's like, "This is my roommate Kelly and my other roommate Donna." And Donna's like,
Fuck
"The
you, bro.
fuck?"
Yeah.
And like, and even Holly is like, huh, that felt weird. Like,
Yeah.
there was a tone in her voice that I picked up on using my special elevated hearing abilities because I'm blind and my other senses are highlighted. Yeah, exactly. I heard her heartbeat elevate slightly. So now I know. Um, I heard the sweat on her forehead. Whatever. Daredevil hears all kinds of stuff, you guys. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Uh,
you can tell people are lying.
yeah. And what she could hear was girlfriend. Uh, because like later, David is like, I'm in love with you. And I'm in love with your hands, righty and lefty. And uh and she's like, dude, you just like the music. Yeah, like this happens sometimes. Like
Right,
you
been
get all
there.
excited and you think it's me, but it's not me. And also you have a girlfriend and you're being kind of a dick. So could you not? And he's like, all right, I guess I'll go be a nice boyfriend again. Um, and so he shows up at the boxer short photo shoot. But not before Donna is irritated as fuck because of the whole "this is my other roommate" thing.
Except that's what
So,
you are, Donna.
yep. So she is like, "Oh, Deshaun asked me out. Guess what, Deshaun? I'm gonna go out with you, but it's for spite. Come on, let's do a thing." And she like she smartens him up, lets him know what the deal is. And so when Deshaun shows up with the big flowers later, it is a great big "let's fuck with David" moment, and it's kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
And David's like, "But you," and Donna's like, "Oh, you know my roommate David." And Deshaun's like, "Good to see you, roomie." And then
Don't
they
lay
go,
out.
"Yeah, I'm gonna go fuck your girlfriend." Um, yep. And don't worry, tomorrow I'm gonna wear boxer shorts. You're gonna see exactly what I used to do it. It's gonna be great for you. You're gonna really enjoy this. And so he's like, all right, cool. And Donna's like, all right, great. He bought it. We don't have to do nothing. He's like, oh, let's go out anyway. What the fuck? I got no plans. I canceled all my plans to hang out with you. Um, and so they're gonna go bowling, which I think is a terrible idea for someone who just had ACL surgery. Like, I don't know for sure that the doctors would be like, don't do that. But it's only been a couple of months, so I'm not sure how sturdy that knee is. Um, it might have been a bad idea, Deshaun. But anyway, they go.
They needed a casual option, I feel like,
Yeah,
as opposed to going out to eat or going to a movie.
right. And you can't go shoot pool because when you go to a pool hall, people do drugs. Like we've
Facts.
seen that. Pool halls are bad. Don't do that. So they go to I wish that we'd gotten to see this because this place sounds kind of awesome.
Right?
It it sounds awesome, except all right. Here they go to this place that Donna said called Osaka Lanes. I don't know if it's a real place or not. I tried to Google it. It doesn't seem to exist. But maybe it did in the 90s. I don't know. But it was in Little Tokyo, and it's a bowling alley where I don't. Do you say cocktail waitresses or just waitresses? I don't remember.
Cocktail waitresses.
Cocktail waitresses serve sushi, and a DJ plays hip hop. And that sounds it sounds like a cool fusion thing, except for I'm not sure that sushi and bowling are a thing I want together. It's just
I just
weird.
I don't trust that the sushi is going to be of the best quality. It kind of
Uh-huh.
makes me think of the John Mulaney sketch where someone wants to order the sushi at LaGuardia, and he's like, "What?
Right. Yes. Yeah, 100%. Because like, have you ever eaten any food at a bowling alley?
Fries."
Yeah, that's about the extent of it. Fries or
Bowling
cheese sticks.
Yeah, fries. What else do you get at a I know
You
people get
shouldn't.
burgers, but I'm thinking I'm just gonna stick with fries and beer,
I think that's the move. Anything beyond fries, and I think you're risking a really strong gastrointestinal response from that bowling outing.
which means I'll die.
Yeah, it's no good. Um, it's no good for anybody. It's worse for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Listen, for
so
the episode about everyone with some kind of marginalization, I have to include myself in this as a person with autoimmune problems. So,
yes, you're in there. They should have had someone just farting in the background.
how dare you?
What? I don't know. What? Look, we're boiling people down to like the one thing in this episode. We got the blind, we got the gay, we got the black. You know,
The
we got the
crony in
hunk.
there.
Yeah, get the farts in there. Everybody's good. Um, that'd be awesome if like someone was wearing the boxer shorts and you saw like the boxer shorts puff. It would have been fun. Like, oh, you can't be in the calendar. Oh, what month is stinky? Oh, gross. David's Valentine's Day, and Brandon is skiing day, and I don't know. Uh, Toots can be fart month. It's terrible. Um, and so they have a good time on their date, Deshaun and Donna, and it's nice. And it's nice when someone who isn't Brandon gets to talk to a black person. I think,
Right.
yeah. It's also nice in this episode that um no one got racist. You know, like
I
no one said very hip, Donna.
No, but Kelly, I don't know. The way she said, "Really?" I don't know. Had a
I think
feeling.
it was mostly. I think it was that was mostly because you have a boyfriend. Like
Except I didn't know that her and David were back together. I was under the assumption that they are still apart because why would they be back together?
they got back together. Yeah, it's at the end of every episode where he's a dick to her, they get back together. And it's usually like one line or something, but no, yeah, and plus, I mean, why would you know? I don't know, but Kelly lives with them. She knows. Like like how can you
Okay.
avoid it? How can you avoid it? You know they're together. Kelly knows the drama of these two. She has to live with it.
True.
Um, and so all right. So then I'm so out of order with what the fuck is going on in this episode. I apologize, cheese meisters. Um, oh, so they show up. This is what happened. This is where I got sidetracked with all the other things that are going on. They show up for the fitting, where they get to choose their outfits, their boxer shorts. And Steve and Mike are playing basketball, and Deshaun is fucking with Mike. Hey, he can't go to his left, but everybody knows Brandon can go to his left. Um, and so they play basketball, and then they're gonna go choose their outfits. And that's where Brandon and Mike talk about, look, Steve he's not gonna out you. Like he's not gonna violate your trust. He cares about his brothers and all this. And Mike's like, I hope so, because this is fucking be a problem for me.
Jump cut to.
Yeah. To Steve trying on his boxers and Artie being like, those boxers are great, gay guy.
Yeah.
You know what you look like in boxers? Gay. And if you were,
Basically.
yeah, those boxers with ducks on them or whatever, I couldn't tell what was happening on Steve's
you-
boxers. Ducks. You know what's gayer than ducks? You. Like, I don't know.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
That was it, and it was really dumb because I mean, I find all of it ludicrous.
It's
But
totally
then to
ridiculous.
have it written out like looking gay in those shorts, I'm like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
Look, when I'm wearing boxer shorts and no shirt, straight as an arrow, motherfucker. When you do it, gay, 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 gay. And you know what it reminds me of? Homer. Because yeah, because John Waters he's the one that Homer's afraid of
Oh, of course.
in the episode. And Homer's like, and he's always wearing Hawaiian shirts. And like Bart wears a Hawaiian shirt, and Homer's like super worried now Bart's gay. And Marge is like, Homer. And he's like, look, Marge, only two kind of guys wear Hawaiian shirts: big fat party animals and gay guys. And she's like, so if you wore it, it wouldn't be gay? And he goes, thank you.
Wow.
Which is such a funny response. It's like, you see my point. Artie's boxers, not gay. Steve's boxers, flaming. Ridiculous. And so Steve, super worried that everyone's going to think he's a gay now, is like,
Throw someone else under the bus.
yeah, immediately just outs Mike. And
Who makes them
Artie,
think I was gay? I don't know how it happened.
yeah, it was an accident. What? You know what it was? This was this episode's version of like somehow I started doing meth.
Yep.
Like,
Somehow I just outed him.
somehow I outed Mike. Oopsies. My bad. I don't know what happened. It just suddenly he was gay. And so Artie storms out with other keg members and the calendar because this and here's the real problem. It's put the calendar at risk, you guys.
Oh no!
I
There are
know.
no other men on campus who can do this.
We can't replace the homophobes. What do we do?
And if we have women post for it, then they'll think we're lesbians.
Oh my god, it's so rough. And like, but I do like that. Like the next scene is Donna, Kelly, and Brandon giving Steve an immense amount of shit
Love it.
for outing Mike. Like every one of them is like, when did you become a homophobe? That was really not okay. What the fuck, Steve?
So glad you
And
secured your masculinity for the next 24 hours.
right, but here's the problem. That was a great sentence, but then there was a comma.
Yep.
And what followed after the comma wasn't uh you've ruined this guy's life for your next 24 hours. It
What are we
was
going to do about the calendar?
right. Oh, fuck off, Kelly. Because the calendar super important. So, Steve,
Made, I'm sorry. It
no,
made
go
me think
ahead.
so much in the Charlie Brown Christmas special when they're all like just bashing him for bringing in this tree. Boy, are you stupid, Charlie Brown. You don't know how
Yeah.
to pick out a tree. And he's just like, I'm depressed and I don't know what Christmas is all about.
Yeah. Sorry. It just what a tree.
Sorry.
I mean, it is a terrible tree, objectively. That tree is you can't hang an you put one ornament on it
The
and it goes
tree
limp like
loves Charlie Brown and he just wants to feel loved. God damn it.
oh, I thought the limp tree was Steve around the gay guys.
Rats.
Yeah. Um, I know. Um, so Steve is like, all right, what I did was wrong. I'm really sorry. And this is like an in Steve's defense kind of thing. Like, Steve's a total fucker for outing Mike and for being so fragile in his masculinity that he's like, I can't even imagine if someone thought I was gay, what that would do to my world. Um, such an asshole.
Make it
But like,
cooler.
right. But he immediately tries to fix it. And he does a decent job at it. Like he goes and talks to Mike and the frat guys fucking painted Mike's door pink, which is Jesus Christ with that move. Like fucking hate crime in the keg house. And Mike's like, I'm out. Like, and Steve's like, don't let them win. You're the best president we've ever had. Or so I'm told. I'm a freshman. I don't know any other presidents.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks you're pretty great. And you helped me out that one time. Um, and because you helped me, let me help you. And Mike's like, try not to be so appreciative, fuck nuts. And but Artie, who is like, remember how I was joking that Steve might be gay? I'm worse than that. Because now he's like, look, if we have a gay here, then everyone's gonna think that we're all gays. And there goes the neighborhood.
Oh my god.
Yep. Um, like what if we had a black person over for dinner in our neighborhood? Oh my god, do you see the ashes moved in down the street? Everything's fucked. Same exact mindset. Artie is that old lady who wanted Cindy to get the uh the keypad entry system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and so he's like, not only is it not enough that Mike get ousted from being the fraternity president, he should get kicked out of the fraternity, and we should hang a sign on the front of the fraternity that says "No queers." Ridiculous. And Steve's like, counterpoint. What if we don't do that? Because that fucking sucks. And Mike is like, hey, I was going to apologize, but I realized I should never apologize for being who I am. And also, I'm selling you guys short. And this is the way to go, I think, to point out how everyone I shouldn't expect that you have a problem with me because I know you guys and you're good guys. Like that's a good approach for him because it makes all of it turns it around, right?
Sure.
It puts the onus on them for their reaction to him and not him for being a sneaky gay.
See, but my belief is I don't owe you my trust.
No, of course not.
If I know how this world works,
Mhm.
and I granted, we're all friends. You all have elected me your president, so clearly I have some kind of relationship with all of you. However, I still don't owe you trust. Like that and a comment on his safety was something I needed from this episode because
Mm,
quite frankly, it wouldn't have just been about being accepted. You all did that shit to my door. I don't feel safe here now. And I
right.
don't have like I don't he doesn't owe them anything because
He
they
doesn't.
showed their asses. Like
Mhm.
just because
Although
I finally reveal something to you and you react like a child, oh, I definitely don't. Like you reacted the way I was afraid you would.
to be fair to the keg members because, frat guys are awesome. Um the only two people who 3 people, I guess, who were shitty to Mike are Steve, Artie, and the other guy with Artie. The other guys just showed up to the frat meeting because a meeting was called and they're supposed to be there.
Mhm.
We don't know any of those guys but Keith. And Keith is like, "No, I'm with the gay guy." Like, "Artie, you're being a fucker."
Yeah.
Um so like we don't know anything. Like we know that there's like 2 black guys in the fraternity now, which I'm not sure we'd ever seen before.
And we
Um
never will again. There was
Probably
also an
not.
Asian guy.
Well, there needed to be.
I know, but like,
Yeah.
no, any person of color in the keg house suddenly, thank you for.
Mhm.
I'm glad you all got a week of pay.
Yeah.
Um, I'm sorry, we will never see you again.
Probably not. Yeah, welcome to our rainbow coalition. Um, yeah, so I think because it's 1994, it's fair to assume that some of the dudes in that room are like Artie,
Yeah,
you know? But I don't think it's fair to assume they all are because we don't know that. And uh like so Artie Mike gives his speech about how like there was, like you guys were accepting of our first black brother and our first Hispanic and Asian and whatever. Like all of the people who broke down previous barriers to this just being a room full of white dudes, they were accepted by the men of Keg because the men of Keg, best kind of guys. Um, and then Steve stands up and like gives his version of the I'm with him because um he helped me once. Uh More or less. And then Steve starts clapping for himself, which I like. Um, and everybody else immediately starts clapping too. Because I think it's just socially awkward if one person starts clapping and everybody doesn't. So they just felt like they
please
had to get in
clap.
on it. Yeah. Please clap. Everyone stand. I'm surprised. He kind of did get a standing ovation, didn't he? Um,
I don't remember.
I think everybody was
I
standing
may
at
have
the end.
blacked out.
I understand. Uh, and Artie's like, I'm not going to stick around and watch this place go to hell.
Doesn't win. What?
Yeah. And I like Keith's role here as guy who's supportive. Because like there's all like the way it works in keg, and we saw this in the black ball ceremony, is it only takes one person to do something, and then everyone else immediately follows along. Like Muntz was like the second ball in the John Sears thing, and then everybody does it. The same thing here. Mike stands up, Steve seconds, everybody else is like, yay for gay. And except for Artie, who's like, I'm not going to watch this place fall apart. And Keith's reaction, I love, which is like, it's not gonna, Artie. It's just not. Like, I really like his, it's just not. Like, you don't even know what you're worried about. Stop being such a douche.
Right.
Um, and uh, so Mike is still president. Artie is, I don't know, going being straight
Hopefully
somewhere.
gonna leave.
Hopefully. Um, by the way, shouts to Leslie Sumner Schulman for just taking strays as a whore.
Oh my god. I know. I almost
Jesus.
I almost made my intro like, and I gave Mike Ryan the best 5 months of his life.
There you go. But you know Leslie, she's always moving on. Yeah, everybody in the calendar is someone who
Moving
used to
from
date
city to
Leslie.
city.
Yeah. They should, the filthy beggars. They go from port to port. Um anyway, Mike's still in the frat. They all, and then because they're down two people for the all important calendar shoot, David and Dylan get roped into it. And everybody has a great time on the calendar shoot and everything's happy. I can't believe how long it took to describe what happens in this episode.
I know, you're like 2 for 2 on detailed summaries. I'm not bothered by it. I you know,
I couldn't like, I got twisted up in all of the nonsense. Um,
there's a lot of nonsense.
there's a lot of nonsense, but very little happens, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
Nothing
so
nothing to advance our hero's storyline other than like, oh, Steve is supposedly not homophobic now. I think
right,
that's what it is.
probably he's got some issues. Um, oh, just wait till later when he meets lesbians. Great. It goes
Oh
super
my
well.
god,
It
no.
goes so well. It goes so well.
I
Um,
bet again. Maybe it'll
um,
point one out to me.
look, I'll just say that you'll forget it by the time we get there. Um, these two lesbians think that he and Brandon are gays. So it's like anytime Steve goes anywhere with Brandon, someone thinks they're dating. It's kind of great.
I
Um,
love it.
yeah, I do too. All right. So anyway, what do you think this episode is really about?
Well,
Yep. Snap that paper.
I will. You know what? I'm gonna start with this one. Do you remember the bear versus man debate?
Yes.
Great times in our country, in the world. Um, Clearly, men know. Men also believe that men would rather choose the bear because the look on Steve's face when he finds himself in the middle of a gay coffee house
Mm-hmm.
is the look of utter panic and fear. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I'm pretty sure I didn't look as scared, but close to that when I realized I am the only woman sitting in a movie theater watching The Force Awakens.
Interesting. The Force Awakens? Huh. Okay.
Listen, we all know Star Wars has some toxic fan bases. And
Uh,
I was in a period of my life when I was going to movies alone and it was awesome. And I
nothing
went
wrong with
in and I
that.
sat down in the very back and I went, oh, I don't feel very good here.
Yeah. I
It
mean,
was better once the movie started, and I was like, great, there can be no focus on me whatsoever. But
right,
I just
right.
felt a little oogie.
I get it. I mean, I think that fan base is toxic in a different kind of way, but
No, definitely.
understood.
But I looked at this episode as, oh, men also know they're trash
Right.
because they're afraid of each other, but again, this is still homophobic and assuming that gay men are going to be as toxic or terrifying as straight men.
I mean, it is the idea that uh every gay guy wants to sleep with me because I have a butthole is so silly. But
It's ridiculous.
but it was pretty pervasive.
Oh,
Like
I know.
that that's the one thing that I think this episode gets right about, like, homophobia in the 90s, and I kind of am like, shouts to this episode for taken this on this way because it's it's like that low key homophobia that was so present that people like Steve didn't think was homophobia.
Mm,
You know, like they didn't think that that it's wrong for me to be worried that uh that A, someone might think I'm gay and that's bad, or that a gay guy might want to have sex with me. Like and not and worse than that, that they will like make a move,
yeah.
you know, like be aggressively like trying to sex me up. And everyone is like, Steve, Jesus, fuck off with that attitude. It's not cool.
Yeah.
Because Brandon doesn't react like that. Brandon is like, "This is a gay coffee shop? Interesting.
Well,
Seems like a regular coffee shop to me. There's just guys here."
and when Steve points out, "Well, Mike thought you were gay too," Brandon went, "And I'm not. So,
Right. So it's fine.
like,
Like,
who cares?"
yeah, everybody but Steve has a normal human response to this. And the episode is doing that to show the people who have the Steve response how out of place that response is.
Sure.
And then Steve learns his lesson, and hopefully the audience does too. So, like, kind of shouts to the episode for going at it like this and making one of our heroes, which I mean, obviously it's our fucking worst hero, who's like always wrong about everything, be the one who's wrong, but then like learn pretty quickly. Because everyone else around him is like, what? Why would you react like that? That's crazy.
Yeah.
But that it was a 90s reaction, you guys. I'm sorry to tell you. Like,
No, it was. I mean, it's funny. This same week, I watched the Living Single episode where Maxine has a friend come visit who's getting married, and the friend getting married is lesbian. And I
mhm,
mean, the audience reaction was it was a lot. I mean,
yeah.
there were gasps,
Wow.
and no one being outrightly hateful, but again, just the reaction was I shouldn't say unexpected, but guys, I was a child in that time. What would
Mhm,
I have known? I'm someone who did not understand what homosexuality was until high school.
mm,
Like, people were calling people gay, and I didn't get it.
right.
Even when they explained it to me, I was like, I don't get it. What, who cares? But again, so
Mhm,
I know these things existed, but I'm at a point right now where I am looking at everything from the 90s and the aughts and going, oh shit, this was bad.
mhm,
Um, it wasn't great. But yeah, like you're saying, they tried and they did a good job on some parts of it.
mhm.
Um,
I mean, to be honest, it's like it's episodes like this that help turn the public perception
well, and it's
because you
about
put it
getting
out there.
conversation started.
Yeah. You make I mean, and I don't wanna give 90210 credit for changing the world or whatever,
Sure.
but, they did predict the future. But it is mainstreaming this idea that there is absolutely nothing to fear from knowing a gay person, living with a gay person, going into a gay bar, going into a gay coffee shop, whatever, gay steel mill, doesn't matter. Um, it's all fine. Like, calm down, everybody. And when you do that enough times, it it builds up. It works. It changes public perception. And so this I don't know. It's certainly not the first time there was a gay character on television. Um, but like this kind of story where uh someone's homophobia is put on blast immediately and they are turned into an ally, at least as much as you can make Steve an ally of anybody who's not him. Um is is helpful to
Yes.
the world. So good for you, 90210 in this circumstance.
Something else I noticed, and I'm still having trouble wrapping my head around what the writers were trying to do with this, because I find it interesting that this is not the first time the writers have kind of flipped, uh, I'll say, the gender politics of this
Mm,
show and put the guys through something the women go through all the
sure.
time.
Uh-huh.
But how often the men talk about being objectified and how silly that is or how stupid that is,
Uh-huh.
and like how above it they are, or like, you're gonna have me fitted for boxers? What? I mean,
Right.
one, it bugged me, but it made me angry in a way that, like, fuck, men are better at saying no than women are, but they're also allowed to say no.
Mhm.
They have been brought up to, no, you stand your ground. You state your boundaries. You negotiate until you get what you want.
Right.
Women aren't taught that. But yeah, I feel like I don't trust the writers to be trying to teach the men of 90210 how to be nicer to women or more empathetic.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that they're
I
putting
mean,
them in the situation of saying, I don't want to be objectified.
mhm. That's one of the things I wrote down that this episode was really about, which was how do you like being objectified? And what's funny is that the reactions of the guys are they're different. Like, right?
Uh-huh.
Like Dylan does not want to be objectified. Like he's like, it's sexist, Cal. But mostly I think that's Dylan just he's saying the quiet part out loud. Like he's pointing out the ridiculousness of it by like taking that stance for himself. Um, David um kind of wishes that his piano player wasn't blind so she could objectify him.
Yep.
Steve, well, it depends on who's looking. Because Steve is all about being objectified in this calendar,
Yes.
but not being objectified by a dude or a room full of coffee drinking gays. And it made me wonder, uh, if you told everyone who ended up in this calendar, and because I already didn't end up in it. So we're talking Dylan and David and Brandon and Steve and Deshaun and Mike and the other random dudes whose names we don't know. Um, if you said uh, all of the sororities in this campus are going to hang this up in their common bathroom or whatever. I don't know if sororities have common bathrooms, whatever. This is going to be in every sorority house on campus. And these chicks are going to be looking at you in your boxers and, right? How would you feel about it? And I think they would all be like, except for Mike wouldn't care.
Yeah.
But if you told them this same calendar is also, I'm not taking it out of the sorority houses, it's still going to be there. All the chicks are going to be looking at it. It's also going to be hanging in one firehouse. How many of them would freak the fuck out?
So many.
I don't know how many, but I know Steve. I don't think Dylan would care. I
No.
don't think David would care. Um, I don't think Brandon would care. Brandon, I think, assumes everyone's looking at him anyway. Um, I don't think Deshaun would care that much.
I
Deshaun doesn't seem like it
Yeah.
would bother him. Um, but Steve would be super skeeved out about it. So, like, it, objectification is in the eye of the beholder or something. It's kind of weird.
It's so weird because on the one hand, you don't want to put out the message that you should be fine with being objectified. Like, no, you don't have to be okay with that, but
Right.
you also don't need to be a dick about it.
Right.
You know, it's not the same by any means, but like, I would I mean, I feel like women characters on TV or in stories get called out if they assume every man is going to be, harassing them, which, like, yeah, not great, but also historically speaking, many of us have a good reason to make that
Mhm.
assumption.
Sure.
But how we handle it versus how a closeted gay man or anyone closeted handles that is going to be different.
Mhm.
And that's all I've got there. But yeah, I thought the objectification bit was, oh, something else I wanted to point out because you know, it's been pointed out that men are afraid of being laughed at, women are afraid of being killed. And I just want to say all the women laugh at these men, and none of the men burst into flames and died, sadly.
Right.
They were all just fine.
Yeah. It would have been good if Artie had burned to a crisp.
It would have been amazing. Well, Artie was there. Artie didn't show up.
Right, at the yeah, but I mean, at some point during the episode. It didn't have to be at the photo shoot.
I've been cackling like a witch for years. It hasn't done anything that I know
No.
of.
Have you tried pointing while you do it? Ha ha.
Oh, I
That kinda move? You give it that move? I don't know.
next time.
It's not enough to point, you have to point and then point down.
Oh,
That's how you do it. Yep. You laugh at their dingus. Um,
they are funny looking.
I don't know. I think mine's great.
We
Um,
know.
um, come on. I'm like Brandon, everyone wants to have sex with me, it's fine. Hang my boxer short picture in wherever you want. I what I think is, if I can make someone happy, let's make them happy. That's what I feel like.
We should make a calendar.
Oh god, it's ridiculous.
But what's gonna be really funny is you're gonna be in boxers and I'm gonna be in some Victorian garb showing an ankle, and that's gonna be it.
There you go. Yeah, put it on the foot sites.
But that's how I feel sexiest world.
There you go. Um, here's something else I think this episode might really have been about. Um, people different from you can really be helpful.
Absolutely.
Like, you get a blind person, you can learn how to play piano and love. You can find a gay person to teach you tolerance. You can find a black guy to make your boyfriend jealous. Like, it's great. Like, whatever it takes. Just find someone different from you and use them to learn something. That's what this episode says.
Date a white girl, go to a fusion bowling alley.
That's right. Yeah. Can you imagine the stories Deshaun got to tell the people in Texas like that week? He's like, Grandma, listen to what just happened this week. This is crazy. I
He
had
just
this
taught me an outfit.
Right. I had this white lady ask me out to a sushi hip hop bowling alley, and grandma's like, I think I only understood the word bowling alley in that sentence. That's crazy. And he's like, and then grandma, uh, I went and I was in a photo shoot in my underpants dressed as Uncle Sam. What? This college is crazy, Deshaun.
This country's crazy now.
I
We're
know.
safe.
And and there was a gay fella there. Can you believe that? Like,
And I said, I'm glad you're here.
that's right. I'm glad you're here, even though you're the only one wearing a neckerchief, which I think is weird. I don't know why everyone got it. I mean, Brandon got a scarf, which is fun. But the little neckerchief was. I mean, look, I'm not sure there's anything gayer than a neckerchief, you guys. Like, I think that might be the signifier of all signifiers. If you are shirtless with a neckerchief, I'm not sure there's any way to do that straight. I'm not. I'm not sure that you can. Um, I'll try if you'd like me to, but
Do it.
yeah, I don't have a neckerchief. I need to get one.
I need
Um,
one.
yeah, there you go.
I have plenty of
Um,
scarves.
yeah, that's nice. Um, uh, anything else you think this episode might really have been about? Because I have a couple small
Um,
little things.
the only interesting thing about pregnant women is how much they eat. Isn't it
Oh my
hilarious how
god,
much pregnant women eat? Let's also judge them. Oh my god, Andrea, you're
that's
eating
rough.
so much. Two, more like three. You want to park
Four?
yourself by the grill? Fuck everyone. And God bless
Yeah,
Andrea for just going along like, I'm hungry.
Yeah, I've got a baby in me. I'm growing a human.
Like, fat phobia on full just but, not even just that, just this is gonna happen for longer than it should, TV making fun of pregnant women, because
Yeah.
you don't know what else to do with them. What could we possibly write and have them do? They're incapable.
Mhm.
Growing fucking life.
I know. I
Jesus.
I'll say this, though. I might like to sit next to the grill. Like, if you're gonna give me, like, the
Sure.
hottest, freshest mega burger, like, oh, that sounds really good. That mega burger sounds real good right now. Um, I don't know.
Look, hormones are no joke, pregnant or not.
Yeah.
They're just I don't know what to tell you, but let women fucking eat.
I did I like, I I'm glad that Andre at least had something to do. 'Cause, I mean, it's a stupid thing for her to do, but I did kinda like the, "I can't believe this is taking so long," and Brenda's like, "The photo shoot?" She's like, "No, the microwave, because 'cause I'm fat."
Listen, we've all been there. We've all been on that side of the microwave saying, I can't believe a minute feels this long.
I know, I just want ramen or whatever.
I just want to tear into it. I don't even care that it's still frozen. I'll eat ice.
Yeah. Hot, 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 hot. Burning, 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 burning.
Okay, I am definitely that person who can't wait for things to cool down,
Yeah.
and I'm missing out on so much flavor.
Mm, yeah. Because you burn the taste buds right off.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what this tastes like. It tastes like burning.
Like I judge my dog for almost choking on food all the time, and then it's like, girl, look in the mirror.
Yeah. I mean, like, that.
Ugh, I'm
Um,
hungry now.
I know. I'm getting there. Um, all right, here's one thing this might have really been about. Steve's secret plan to become the biggest asshole in Keg House. Because he already got rid of John Sears, and now he got rid of Artie. Who's left? Keith seems to be stand up. I love Muntz. Mike Ryan, no matter who plays him, seems like a fine fella. I think all that's left, Steve is like king of Dickhead Mountain. I mean, good for him.
Sure.
It's a long
He's
con. Took almost his whole freshman year, but I think he's secured his position as worst person in keg. So good job, Steve. Um, and also like Homer, I think uh now if only every gay person could stay save Steve from getting kicked out of keg, the world would be better.
Oh Lord.
Because Steve is fully accepting of this one gay guy who helped him one time. And that's the same thing that happened in Homer's Phobia. John, the gay guy, saved his life. And now Homer's like, well, he must be okay. And John's like, well, now if every gay person could save your life, Homer, we'd be set.
Yep.
Yep. That's what it's like. It's, I don't know. It's like if you, and I'm not going to say who in my life has this opinion, but there's a person I know who does not like tattoos and thinks that everyone with a tattoo is probably a bad person. Um, I know. There you go. Uh-oh, double up. Um, and
I'm gonna
multiple.
get more
Good for you.
when I have money.
There you go. Um, go to prison, you get them for free. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and free food. Uh, but like, this person has had more than one person with a tattoo help them in their life and be a kind person and do something nice. And I'm like, well, now if just everyone with a tattoo could help you, you would be better with this. You would be like, oh, tattoos aren't so bad. Which is a comment I make every time this person says that a person with tattoos did something nice for them.
And you are not owed that.
I know. It's
You are
ridiculous.
not owed that. You aren't owed uh every marginalized person teaching you something or taking the time to prove that their life matters.
But they will if you just hire them to teach you piano. You know, you'll learn. this blind person doesn't want to sleep with me, but she's a nice person and she's good at piano. And maybe it's not a bad idea to have a teacher every now and again.
Yeah.
David's
Teachers
default
are
positions are
great.
weird. David's a weirdo. Um, all right. What did this episode make you nostalgic for?
Um, the only thing I could think of was I felt nostalgic for when I first learned about voice lessons. Because people would tell my mom like, "Oh, she can sing. You should get her into voice lessons." And at first, I thought, and I was little, I was like, "Why would I need voice lessons if I can sing?" I thought,
Right.
"Are they singing bad?"
Right.
Um, and then I got into them, and my teacher was awesome.
Hmm.
And I learned that, oh, there are there are techniques to
Right.
learn. Much
Yeah.
like with dance, there are ways to learn to do this safely.
Hmm.
Those things are important to learn because you're not going to find that on your own. Like, yes, natural ability is amazing. You can also cultivate that
Right.
or you can enhance it. And that is what teaching does. So, like, granted, I unfortunately know where David is coming from in wanting it to be easy
Hmm.
and wanting to be a natural and to not have to go to things. However, unlike me, he has money to go to lessons.
Right. Yeah.
I'm still banking on what do I have stored in here that I can use? What tools can I keep using to make sure I don't damage anything?
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
so I'm nostalgic for a time when someone else was paying for voice lessons.
There you go. That's nice.
Oh my god, yeah, that's it. I'm nostalgic for having things paid for cuz unlike the blind teacher, I am a damsel in distress.
Yeah. He needs saving.
I do. I need a sponsor. Yeah, I miss shout outs to Debbie. Rest in peace. I'm voice lessons are great.
Yep. I was trying to we were trying to talk Liam into taking, like, some camera, like, some photo lessons,
Uh,
because he has a good eye for,
yeah,
like, what is an
good.
interesting picture, and, and we were like, "You should take a class or something." He's like, "I don't like taking pictures that other people tell me to take. I wanna take my own."
But that's not
And
what
I'm
it's
like,
about.
I know, and I'm like, "I get that, I understand that, but they could teach you techniques. They could teach you things you don't know that could make the pictures you want to take better."
Yes.
And it's, it's a work in progress,
Or like
you know?
help you pinpoint what story you're trying to tell.
Right. And so, we'll see. But yeah, it's the all right. So this is a weird nostalgia, and I'm not 100% sure how to do this one. Um, because like there's a way I could tell this where it is look at how much better I am than Steve, you know, like
Okay.
which is like a ridiculous thing. But um, but there's also a twist. Okay, so here let me just tell you what happened. When I transferred to IU, I had a roommate and and I had friends down the hall and whatever. And like I had a girlfriend lived in another dorm and, whatever. Um, but my roommate was kind of a dick and he like there was another guy that he was better friends with who was also kind of a dick. And there was a guy on the floor that I was better friends with. Like he was just fun. We like, we all went to parties, hung out, whatever. And um, and so they were like, "Hey, why don't you move in with him? He's got a single. He's looking for a roommate. We could move in together." And I'm like, I don't really want to do that, but I like Jim. He's a nice guy. I can move in with him. Um, Also, Jim was gay. And I knew that. Like, I didn't know it immediately, but I knew it before I moved in with him. Like, it
Mhm.
was one of those things. Um, and I liked him. And so I was like, fine. So my sophomore year, I had a gay roommate. Here's the twist. Jim sucks as a roommate. He's awful. He's dirty and doesn't ever go to class and is just kind of in your business all the time.
Oh.
Oh, I hated living with this guy. Like we became like we went from being friends to being, I can't take this fucker. I hate him so much. The only thing that doesn't bother me about you is that you're gay.
Yeah.
Everything else is a problem. And so I got to a point where I never slept there. Like,
Oh,
it was like 6 months. I only ever slept at my girlfriend's.
wow.
And, cause I just couldn't take this guy. He was just always there. Have you ever lived with someone who's always there?
I'm
Like,
kind of that one right now. Being underemployed, I'm always
it's tough. Like, it's not the same if you're, like, living with, your partner or living with your spouse, or if you it and to be honest, it's different if you're not in a dorm room, because there's no space. It's one room, and if you never get that space to yourself, it is oppressive, and it's
yes.
just like, oh, you're just always fucking here. Um, so, like, I'm nostalgic for how progressive I was in the 90s, where I was like, I will happily move in with this gay fella, because I like him, and then find out all of the ways that he's a terrible person to live with. So, I told you it's a weird one.
Hey, it's I don't know. I feel like this is in a similar vein wherein you're like, "Oh, I don't have a problem with you being gay. I do have a problem with the fact that you just grab my tits because you think you're entitled to that like straight men are."
Oh, that's weird. He
It
never
is
did that.
weird.
He never grabbed my package.
Good.
Yeah, and proof positive, Steve, that not everyone's gonna try to fuck you if you're near them. Um,
Just because you're not
Ridiculous.
interested doesn't mean you can grab these.
Right. Yeah.
I'm surprised you thought you could grab anything in college.
Yeah. So, and and not that I should have to say this, Jim never hit on me. There was never any weirdness. It
Yeah.
was like I lived with a guy in a box,
Yeah.
and he never once did anything inappropriate sexually. He just never cleaned up.
I feel like that narrative that people are afraid like, "Oh, well, if he's gay, he or if we're around each other, he's gonna fall in love with me." That's because of all the heteronormative stories out there that are like, "Well, these people being trapped in an elevator together and they fall in love," or, "Oh, these people walking around," like, that is a very
Right. Just being in proximity with someone makes you fall in love with them.
which, like, sure, it can, but, like, it doesn't mean it's going to.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know.
Calm down.
Don't be Steve, is what I'm saying, I guess.
Eat it!
Eat it. That's our edict all the time. All right. Who is your Steve Sanders Memorial Worst Person of the Episode?
I mean, it's obviously between Steve or Artie.
Yeah.
Um, Steve at least learns
Uh,
something, and we know he's not going to well, he's still gonna be on the show and, gonna fuck up, so it's going to Artie for calling him a pervert and for being
yeah.
a blatant homophobic, prejudiced piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I wrote down Artie, but also Steve.
Yeah,
You know,
fuck Steve and Artie. Like,
yeah,
they're both awful.
they're both awful. Um,
Because Steve, I would not still feel safe around Steve. I'd
it,
be like, "I'm glad you learned something.
mhm,
You're on my radar, though."
yeah, because Steve is the worst in this episode because he will immediately sell you out if he feels even the tiniest bit attacked.
Yes.
Like, anyone to save himself the tiniest bit of embarrassment, he will destroy your life.
I'm
That's why
sorry, I
Steve
just
sucks.
flipped out.
Yeah. Somehow I outed you. Somehow I started doing meth. Somehow doing a lot of work this season.
Somehow I told Dylan I love him.
Right. Yeah. Uh-huh. Well, somehow we did it.
We
Yeah.
did.
We got to the end of this thing. So join us here on Friday Cheese Meisters. We're still in conversation
Yeah.
about what our movie's going to be. So by the time it's out, you'll know what it is, but we don't know yet. Um, we have some thoughts. So join us here for that, whatever it is. And then join us here next week when we watch season 4, episode 27, Divas. Uh huh. Yep,
Ready.
you're not ready. And we welcome back Laura Kingman. Uh-huh. And it can't possibly be worse for her than it was last time. I'm just going to say that Laura Kingman should stay away from the people on our show. Like, it is bad for her to get involved with these assholes.
I think these people bring out the worst in her. I
It's
know
it
this right now.
it's not good for Laura, is what I'm saying. Um, but yeah. So that's what we're gonna do. Um, so until then, Cheesemeisters.
Bye.
Bye.